You're lying by a dying fire in a cave 50,000 years ago. Your jaw throbs with a slow, grinding pulse of pain. A tooth near the back has cracked down to the root. The night air is cold and your breath comes out ragged. Somewhere outside, a hyena calls once, then goes silent. You are old for this world, maybe 40 years alive. Every bite of meat now feels like chewing broken glass. There is no doctor here, no pliers, no relief coming. Just you, the fire, and a mouth slowly poisoning itself. Today, a cracked tooth means a 20-minute drive to a dentist. Novocaine, a drill, maybe a crown, and you go home. For most of human history, that same crack was a death sentence. Human enamel is the hardest tissue in your entire body, but once it cracks, it cannot heal, regrow, or repair itself. A shark loses a tooth and grows a new one in 24 hours. A rodent's front teeth grow continuously, worn down by constant gnawing. Humans get one set of adult teeth ever for an 80-year lifespan. Crack one, lose one, and it is simply gone forever. Left untreated, a dental abscess doesn't just hurt, it kills. The infection spreads into the jaw, the bloodstream, the brain. Sepsis from a single rotten molar can end a life in days. For an aging hunter-gatherer, a bad tooth was a countdown clock. No painkillers, no antibiotics, no forceps, just raw biological failure. By every metric, our ancestors' mouths should have doomed them early. Old age should have meant starvation, infection, and a slow death. Instead, some of our oldest fossils tell a completely different story. The first offense was mechanical, deliberate, and shockingly ancient. A forest twig, stripped and frayed, became humanity's first toothbrush. For over a century, scientists have studied strange grooves on fossil teeth. Thin, parallel scratches worn into the enamel near the gum line? In 1975, researchers cataloged these marks across the entire genus Homo. They appear on Homo erectus teeth in China, dated 780,000 years old. They appear at Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania, on bone fragments 1.8 million years old. Many researchers read this as evidence of deliberate tooth-picking behavior. A sharpened twig dragged sideways, working meat fibers out of the gums. Some newer studies now debate whether wear alone explains every groove. But across 1 million years and 3 continents, the pattern repeats. Something, again and again, was scraping debris from between human teeth. The second weapon came from a laboratory built entirely of trial and error. In 2003, curators in Vienna translated a Greek papyrus from Egypt. Dated to the 4th century AD, it held an actual recipe. 1 drachma of rock salt ground into a fine crystal powder. 2 drachmas of mint crushed for its sharp, cooling scent. 1 drachma of dried iris flower mixed in for its bite. 20 grains of pepper, added last for abrasive, biting friction. The scribe called it a powder for white and perfect teeth. Mixed with saliva, it became a working gum-scrubbing paste. A modern dentist tried the formula and reported his gums bled. But afterward, he said, his mouth felt genuinely fresh and clean. This was chemistry built for aging mouths 16 centuries before Colgate. The third weapon wasn't a tool at all. It was medicine. In 2017, scientists extracted ancient DNA from Neanderthal dental plaque. Individual from El Cedrón, Spain, lived roughly 49,000 years ago. His jawbone showed a visible, painful, untreated dental abscess. Was also fighting a parasite that caused severe diarrhea. Trapped in his fossilized plaque, researchers found something remarkable. Traces of poplar bark, a natural source of salicylic acid, the exact compound your aspirin is built from today. They also found penicillium mold, the same fungus behind modern penicillin. This sick, aging Neanderthal was self-medicating his own infection. Chewing bark for the pain, mold for the infection, by instinct alone. 40,000 years before humans understood what penicillin even was. But tools and plants could only do so much for the truly old. In 1.77 million-year-old sediment at Dmanisi, Georgia, researchers found a skull. It belonged to a Homo erectus male, roughly 40 years old. Every tooth was gone except a single canine on the left. The bone around the empty sockets had fully healed over. That healing takes years, meaning he lived long after losing his teeth. In a cold, predator-filled landscape, a toothless man cannot chew raw meat. He cannot strip a carcass or tear tough winter vegetation alone. By every rule of survival, he should have starved immediately. Instead, he lived on for years without a single working molar. Researchers believe his group fed him, softening meat with stone tools, perhaps pounding it, perhaps pre-chewing it, perhaps simply sharing what little there was. This is the oldest known evidence of compassion in the human fossil record. Not a weapon, not a fire, not a spear, but simple, sustained care. Long before we had toothpaste, medicine, or dentists, we had each other. An elder who could no longer feed himself was never abandoned. Somebody, 1.77 million years ago, chose to keep him alive anyway. Today, you sit in a dentist chair and complain about the weight. Your ancestors sat by firelight, toothless, kept alive by love alone. They had no cure for old age, no fix for a rotten tooth. They only had each other, and over time, that was enough.